in the shop with the engine out. The goal for the evening is to get the transmission off and to assemble the engine stand and get the engine on a stand, and then if we have some time left after that, we'll get the rest of the wiring harness out of the car. Alright, got it sitting over here, about to lower it a little bit where the transmission can sit on that chair, and I got PB Blaster sprayed on all the bell housing bolts and figured out that they are a size 14. So got the socket, got a wrench, got an extension, got to go to town on this thing. So apparently I'm not the first hack to get a hold of this thing. Look at how this slave cylinder is mounted. Okay, so you've got this bolt missing, and instead of going to Lowe's to buy another bolt, they put 2 zip ties through it. And what's amazing is it actually worked. I drove the car back here, so whatever, I guess. Damn, I mean, that's lazier than I even am. That's pretty bad. Okay, got the transmission off. That was actually kind of difficult with one person, but got it done. And got all our clutch and pressure plate and flywheel. This clutch looks like hell. This car only had 100,000 miles on it, so I'd say people must have been driving it that didn't know how to drive standard. But good thing we're not using that. Got a new Harbor Freight engine stand. Just put it together. Gonna throw the engine on there and call it a night. Got the engine on the stand. Sitting pretty. Got the engine hoist disconnected. And so next thing I'm gonna have to do is pull the harness out of this, pull what I need out of the inside, and then put it back together and push it out and get it gone because it's in the way. What's happening, guys? Before I get started today, I have driven down to Rockwall from my hometown that's about an hour away and picked up an intercooler for the truck build, and it was only 50 bucks, which is way cheaper than what I would have spent buying the same thing online. So now I'm gonna head back and get back to work on the truck. So I thought about getting into cars years before I actually did it, and I talked myself out of it because I thought it was too expensive and too complicated for me. And then years later I decided I had a little bit more money and I was going to go for it, and I found out that it didn't have to be that expensive, and working on cars isn't nearly as complicated as you usually think it is. You can keep an eye on Craigslist and eBay for the parts you need. You just got to get out there, pick up a wrench, and go for it. You know, just do it, and you'll learn stuff along the way. And before you know it, you'll know what you need to do, and not even have to look it up anymore. But yeah, if you're thinking about getting into cars and leaning against it because of money or because you don't think you know anything about cars, I would say just do it. Just get you a car. Don't get something that doesn't run. You know, start with something that you can work on, which is exactly how I started with the Mustang. You just got to jump into it. Okay, we got most of the wires on the inside disconnected. Most of the stuff in the back's disconnected, and I'm at the point where I need to disconnect the fuel pump wires. And I was planning on pulling and running this fuel pump in the truck anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull that. Okay, so I was able to get the fuel pump out. Unfortunately, I'm a guerrilla mechanic and I broke it right there. There's supposed to be a tube coming out right there, and I snapped it because I'm an idiot. But a replacement one's only less than 25 bucks, and it wouldn't be bad to have a new fuel pump on this build anyways. So I'm just going to order another one, and at least I was able to get the wiring out, and I was able to figure out that this one is the power to the fuel pump, so I can mark it, and that this one was just a fuel sending unit. I don't need it because I'll be using the one on the truck already. So, got the entire rear harness out. Pulled the dash out, and I'm working on getting all the dash wires out, labeling them and whatnot. Pretty close to having the entire harness out. Engine bay's all done. Get it all out and then scrap this car. So we got the wiring harness out. Big thanks to Dan for helping me out with that. This is all the inside harness. And then all the engine harnesses over here. I'm kind of surprised because the inside harness is like twice as much, but. So this is Dan, my brother, and his 05 Honda Civic. Used to be mine. What you got done, Danny boy?
I don't know. You know what this stuff's called, I don't.
Okay, so he's got a nice strut brace, nice cold air intake. That paint's holding up pretty good. That was just like rattle can engine paint. Still looks pretty good. Got long tube headers and a full exhaust with no cats. Like those floor lights, you still have those? No?
Huh?
Those still have those floor lights?
Have them, but they're not plugged in.
Oh. And then you got tying coilovers. And then camber rods. That's pretty much it. How many races you won, Dan? All of them? I like that grill.
Yeah, me too.
We're gonna semi put the car back together so that we can push it out of the shop and pull a truck in here. Ain't that right? Okay, so we got the Eclipse pulled around front. We got the truck pulled around back. And we're gonna go see about some Wendy's. So I'm gonna throw her on Craigslist and see what kind of bites I can get. Really not expecting much. If I don't get anything in a week, I'm probably just gonna call the junkyard and have them come tow it off or whatever they'll pay. So yeah, goodbye Eclipse.